Nyanum Ghana for me person me bisa question bi. Inti nyama na ekoso NDC amanoku nim no. Person me bisa said, does it have any spiritual implications ana? If you say kind of mu ina na me be ya dance say for the past month ni na say ye ni. Ohwe former president John Dramani Mahama the campaign and as nema audi to do no. And I send the campaign messages now around. No to me say it is not really effective. The door-to-door campaign. Say mu ina na me be kaya. I'm in the betu. I send a door-to-door campaign. Egu mani e basa. Nsembebre esi wom. Ana sisi ano. Eye lawyer Paul Adom Otro so sad nsembia be betu. Na so trema osintino. Eye the former president ba awunya baby ko Jelly John Rawlings eshura Bawumia and sana owu ti by hook or crook NDC will remain in opposition. Tia sembre na kunu kutisa ensemu twemu mbra medamase.
And now so a different day Richie Japai na ne awreho sem ne se Richie Japa e di cross examination be wie Richie Japa to nanum tuo ka kire court to say number 1 said Tekpe as a finance minister then or ye evil man. Na said Tekpe against the transaction of the purchasing of the ambulance. It is on record in court. Lawyer said titi hon the omuti ya said Richie Japa abien no say said Tekpe he is an evil man. Obi a what testified yama who the testimonies akọ court record and then Richie Japa say oye evil man. Obia na oye principal witness e dem ato force. Richie Japa say Tekpe can't be trusted. He's an evil man. Na de okan ya wode sa asem ne kura ne say transaction e course ni nyina no. Na say Tekpe nim ho hwe. Na onu momu kura no was against the transaction of the purchase of the ambulance. Tinadie, what Japa meant by that statement was that said Tekpe the issuance and the establishment of letters of credit no ni because obia or against a transaction there or then issue letters of credit or then establish letters of credit. Ti Japa we case. Now interestingly, lawyer Paul Adom Otro enyumri. Just say wama asem no aya asefem dia mind this. Say no ntina same jamfio. Ase edu nkatio. Ofosu kwa achiu. Omane boamo. Eduzita makulu. Abraham Malebo, Tadio Sori, Obian to me no any press conference because cross examination I'm a Richie Japa on one dia homano at Chiri Womuna, Yanko, na Yanko Jano ye free lawyer Paul. I don't watch it.
Because the kinds of things now, some of the people are sending me texts that Samuel Jenfi, the National Propaganda Secretary of the National Democratic Congress, has refused to hold a press conference, his regular press conference after the Japa trial. Because sometime 2 weeks ago, every time after the Japa trial, Samuel Jenfi will hold a press conference. And in fact, the NDC party, led by Johnson Asiedu Ketia, the General Secretary, also had a press conference about the trial in which they played a tape. So one is wondering, and if you know, please ask them. We are waiting for the press conference that usually concludes the trial on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I don't know whether Samuel Jenfi was in court. Let's check with the reporter. Was Samuel Jenfi in court? Let's find out. But it was quite interesting. Very, very interesting and somewhat serious. The kinds of things Richie Japa said. So here's our depiction of Efia Sewa's court. Forgive us if there's the depiction is not complimentary, but I think that the graphic designer did a very good job. Just this afternoon, putting this together. It's quite good, isn't it? There's a lot of talent in Ghana among young people. Plenty of talent. Look at this. It's quite nice, isn't it? You know, the red, gold, grays at the back, even though it's showing black and white and black. And that's just Efia Sewa and the trial. So what happened today? As we call it, latest on the ambulance case. So 3 things happened today in the trial. The admission of tapes in evidence, and then issue on alleged misconduct of the AG in forcing Japa to testify. That's where a lot of issues came up at that side. And then the third one, the attack on Seth Tekpe and the late Sharia Iti. I mean, Richie Japa, I don't know whether he's insensitive to culture. Sharia Iti has passed to eternal glory, former minister of state who served Ghana well for many, many years. And then you sit in court and say she's evil. Evil. You use the word evil for Seth Tekpe, the former finance minister, the same Seth Tekpe who testified for him. Okay, we'll get there. We'll get to part 3. Let's categorize it properly. So part 1, admission of evidence. That was the first shocker. Those of you who have been following social media, our Facebook page, we were so surprised that sometime about 1 o'clock we put it up. Richard Jakpa has tendered tapes to the court. He has. Text messages. He had exchanged text messages with the Attorney General. He intended to submit the text messages to the court to suggest that and build a case against the Attorney General, that Attorney General had used underhand dealings to prosecute, and therefore the whole system, the court should agree on a mistrial and then get him off. He doesn't want to be prosecuted, etc., etc. In doing so, he submits text messages to show that this is his case. The court then asked him that the text message you submitted is not the entire text messages between the Attorney General, as we discussed on Tuesday. He said, well, I submitted what I want to use to do my case. You can also submit. Attorney General attempted to submit on Tuesday. The lawyers said that it is not in color. The judge said it doesn't matter. And then they said they wanted to study it. The judge said you can study it. So today they came to court having studied it, and they raised objection. And they will not allow the Attorney General to tender the rest of the text messages. I've never seen something like that before. A set of text messages exchanged between two people. 68 text messages exchanged. Jakpa tenders 14, representing 25%. And the Attorney General says, okay, no problem. I'm happy to tender the rest of the 75%, including what you have already tendered. It will still be in my own. So I'm tendering to the court 100%, which includes the 25% that you already have. And Jakpa admits that, yes, there were several text messages between me and Attorney General, but most of it was motivational message. Every morning I sent to him, God bless you, and don't worry about your enemies. You go forward and soar like an eagle, and those things, Psalm 91 and Psalm 134 and something like that. That's what he said. But he's been sending the text message to the Attorney General. He's been sending motivational messages to the Attorney General. As we go on in this narration, you will see him describe himself with having some spiritual power. So I'm not so sure what kind of motivational messages he was sending, but you'll see that. And then the court said, okay, no problem. Whether it's motivational messages or not, we understand. But you accept that the text message that you sent was short of the whole? He said, yes, it was. Okay. Attorney General says, here is the whole. Then lawyers for Jakpa says, we don't like it. You cannot tender the whole. I don't understand it. The lawyers for Jakpa says they will not allow the Attorney General to tender the rest of the text messages. That is what Adiosori told the court today. He will not allow it. He is objecting to it. Text message that you have tendered some. I am bringing the rest. They said, no, they won't allow it. Viewers. Well, the judge is here to determine. But in any case, thank God, the judge overruled them. And so the text messages were admitted. That's the first thing that surprised people today. So the text messages were admitted. It says the court admitted the tapes into evidence, the text into evidence, because they were relevant and had no issue of authenticity. That is to say, there was no authenticity problem. On the backdrop of the fact that Jakpa admitted that he did not tender all the evidence. This is the basis on which the court overruled the objection that was raised by lawyers for Adiosori. We don't lawyers for Francis Jakpa Adiosori. We don't know whether they intend to repeat this application in the Court of Appeal, where they could go and say that the trial judge erred in admitting the rest of the text messages and therefore the appeal against. Let's wait and see what happens. But they were overruled on this one. So the messages have been admitted into evidence on the basis that they were relevant and that they have no problem with authenticity, because the court has looked at it and it seems authentic. And it is on the backdrop that Jakpa himself has tendered part of what you are saying you will not allow. And the part that you say you will not allow, Jakpa also has evidence of it. So why wouldn't you allow it? Viewers, are we understanding, are we getting to the meat of the matter? The people don't want the text. They have tendered some.